into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to another after show for Queens of Drama on Pop. I'm your host, Grant Rutter, and tonight I'm hosting alongside
Mark J Freeman.
And his hair.
And my hair.
Love the hair. I'm Guy David.
And we're here to go over everything that happened. I think there was a lot to discuss in this episode.
But before we discuss,
yes.
Can I give a shout out?
Please. Oh, yes. Here we go.
To June in Rhode Island. I
Who's she?
spruced up my hair just for you, June.
Well, who's she? How do we know her?
June's a relative of Grant's.
Yep, she's my grandmother. She asks about she likes his hair, so I told him let's compliments.
And Nick watches My Days of Our Lives earlier, and he just said, "Hair's so nice, you got to see it twice." Thank you, Nick.
I saw you doing it before backstage.
Yeah,
you
I'm
had the
sure
mirror
it's
out, you were
falling.
Hair
looking
on fleek.
I can't really see from here,
Yes.
so I'm going to count on people in the chat room to tell me if it's falling.
Well, I'm jealous because I'm losing my hair.
Steven, you're on hair patrol.
Oh. Steven doesn't have anything to do, so we gotta give him something. Yeah, right. All right, let's talk about this episode. We open up, who's going to tell Donna that Vanessa is not going to want to be part of the show? Hunter Tyler seemed a little angry at the beginning to me in the show. They were all like, well, Hunter should tell her. But Hunter was a no-show.
But I don't know if you noticed that when they were coming in and they said, who's going to tell? Christy was the last one to come in and she's like, not me. But who ended up telling? Christy.
Yeah,
Christy ended
that's
up being the
true,
one.
yeah.
I'm still very surprised Vanessa has just blown up like
Oh,
this.
I forgot my butterfly. I left it in the...
And you made it.
I even made one.
We need
I
this
forgot
butterfly
it.
clip, people.
I forgot 2 butterflies. Someone's in screening room A right now going, why is there a stupid butterfly taped to this? Can we send someone to studio?
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she's blowing up like it started in Palm Springs. It's continued. She's packing her bags. She's leaving. Is anyone surprised that she's just thrown in the towel? She's got this angry over. They wanted to act. I take that as a compliment. The studio wants to act.
Right.
Well,
Well, she didn't know.
Changed,
She didn't know.
yeah.
In her defense, she didn't know till this episode that they wanted her. They didn't
Yeah.
disclose that to her.
But
so.
but surely when she signed up for the show, she thought. Did
Oh,
she
I'm
actually
supposed to be
think she was
sitting
gonna?
there. I am
I'm
all
thrown
a
off.
mess. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm now with you. Okay. I'm back.
Okay.
Did she really think she wasn't going to act in it? She was going to produce the show or be behind the scenes the whole time. Someone with her experience and her ability.
Well,
in front of the camera.
apparently that was her goal. I mean, when they got together, they talked about, I think Vanessa was the first to say, we should come together and produce something for ourselves that's, produced by women, for women.
Right.
So that was her it started off as her original idea. At least that's how it was presented to the viewers.
Right. And I think that maybe in her head, because and I've done that, where you're thinking one way, like, oh, I'm just going to produce this, but you never vocalize it, but you assume that they got that. I think that's kind of what happened. I think she just kind of thought, oh, I'm just going to produce this. I'm going to be a part of this because I want to produce. And didn't think that not acting in it was going to be that big of a deal to them.
I can't believe it's happened so late in the series. I thought they would have all got this sorted out earlier on. When going to meet people, when going to see producers, this would all be settled. We're going to do this. I'm going to act this.
That's an interesting point. That's one conversation I don't think these women have had with what role they want to play in the project. Like, they're all sitting around like, Donna, let us know if we can help you with anything. But they really should kind of like, that way there's no, like, everyone has a line. Everyone has like a box,
right?
And that way there's no like, well, she's not taking my ideas or she's not allowing me to do anything. If you set beforehand, like, you're gonna do this, I want your help, you're gonna do locations, you're responsible for the casting, like, just that's like film school 101 stuff. That way everyone knows their lane and then you all can do it.
That's what I thought would have happened.
Yeah.
So I thought they'd be more on point with each other in that regard.
Yeah, they never really had that conversation with what each of these women want to get out of being a quote producer on the show.
But they never had it on camera that we saw.
Right.
So, but
Yeah, but I mean, that's like the whole idea, though, to me, of putting together this show. It's like, okay, we have a concept. Let's see how. I mean, maybe they think the viewer doesn't want to see like, oh, I'm going to do hair. I mean, maybe they don't think people care about that. But I mean, if the idea behind the project is that there's a group of women that are coming together to produce, and we should be able to see a little bit more in that production office besides, you know, a couple headshots on the table.
So we assume we're getting Vanessa back, right? I miss her already. I missed her that episode.
Yeah.
We barely saw her. She's coming back. Something's going to happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's in the opening titles, so I'm sure she'll be around.
So she can repack her stuff, move back in.
Yeah,
Hopefully not
hopefully.
into that house, though. I wasn't a fan of that house.
At least the foyer.
There was a
and the
lot
living-
going on in that foyer.
Yeah.
A lot of different.
But that's not her.
eclectic
That's not
furniture.
her house. Her Northern California house, which I'm sure is more nice.
Yes. I'm just not a fan of that house. Sorry. Anyway, so Tylo runs up the driveway and she's like, you know, like, please come back.
I would say
Please come back."
saunters. I wouldn't say ran.
Well, yes. But I mean, of course, like, I like how Vanessa had to say her full name. I'm getting ready to leave, and Hunter Tylo's walking up my driveway. Like,
Hello.
yeah, I know. I know. That's an easy one at this
Yeah,
point. We had a whole
right.
episode about it.
Right.
So, they have this conversation, and I loved when Vanessa called her shady. She was like, yeah, she's still pretty shady, though, like, in my house. Like, she did not take that conversation seriously.
So you're the guy that I go to for info about all these actresses, all these people, producers, because you're knowledgeable. You know this stuff. And Hunter Tyler, I don't know much about. I've never watched The Bold and the Beautiful. Was that she was in?
Correct, yes.
But she comes across very serious, a little bit not charming in a
Vanessa?
way. No, Hunter
Hunter.
Tyler.
Tyler, yeah.
And you told me that's really not who she is. You don't think she's been portrayed as she actually
don't
is in the
believe
episode, or you think
so.
she's acting a little bit, or what?
Well, the scenes she had in that living room where she like got all bent out of shape over how she acted in Palm Springs,
Yeah.
the way she was delivering her dialogue, it seemed very much like her scenes where she would have these conversations with Ridge, who was a love interest of hers and ex-husband, whatever, on the show.
go.
And it just seemed to be like she, you know, it just reminded me of watching her on Bold and the Beautiful with her head tilted, and she's really trying to like drive home a point and trying to be like, you know, emotional. And that's how I got. It was almost like I was watching B&B, and that's like I grew up with. So it was funny to watch that scene, or for a while I watched the show up until, you know, I still watch it. But yeah, it was kind of a throwback for me. And then in real life, I find her to be like a really kind of like fun person. You know, maybe she's, you know, changed her personality. People change. I mean, she's, you know, that was before she was married, when I knew her. So, you know,
We're trying to get her on. We're
Yeah.
trying hard to get her on. So I want to see who she is.
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
I
Get
had a
bit of-
blast with her. I mean, we definitely connected, and all the other interns on the show like didn't want to go to her dressing room and drop things off because it was always like kind of like a weird thing, like nobody wanted to go. But her and I just always clicked. So whenever there was an opportunity for me to talk with her, like I always would, because she was just a lot of fun. So it's interesting to see how she's really portrayed on the show.
Yeah, because from my standpoint, I'm not connecting with her that well, but I don't know
Yeah.
her. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Well, and again, what we're seeing is edited version of everything that happened as well.
Yes.
I'm always going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there. Somebody in here just said something though about we were talking about Vanessa. Is she coming back? He says he or she. I'm sorry. Enraged fire plug. So I don't know if that's male or female, but it says Vanessa signed a contract like everyone else, which is why quitting, quote unquote, always seems silly to me. So
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really walk out if you're all on a show and you're on episode like 6
Right.
out of 10.
Well, and I think, and I've said this before, and I really think that a lot of this is based on real events. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Because I think some of this stuff probably did happen off camera, you know, in this discussion process leading up to doing a docu-series about the show and creating this female production company. I think a lot of these things probably did happen, you know, and then it had to be recreated for us to see it, to kind
Probably,
of catch
yeah,
us
like
up to where
pickups and stuff
they're
like
at
that
right
happen.
now in the whole process. So I'm gonna ride that wave.
Okay.
You know,
And
just
I'm gonna
from
say that's what's going on.
just from seeing the girls here last week, I've really changed my opinion on the whole show. I was skeptical. I thought it was too heavily scripted, and I thought they all knew exactly what was going on. I was more of a conspiracy theorist in that regard. But seeing them here, watching them watch the show with us, and their reaction and emotions and everything, the thing's real. I've changed my opinion, so I think I owe them an apology for that, which makes the show now more enjoyable for me watching it.
Yeah, see, I'm like halfway in. I'm a little bit more invested in it being more spur of the moment, going with the flow of what's really happening in the reality.
That's what I'm saying. I think that we are going to catch up. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're behind on this actual process that has started. So they're having to catch us up. And that's what we're seeing is this kind of catch up. Like, okay, we got to do the scene. Like, we have to have this scene when it started. You know, we all met at this party. I'm sure they all that's very possible they all met at a party. But they didn't have cameras there to capture all of it. So now we have to go back, create this party. We run into each other. We see this. So we are seeing a recreation of, I think, what actually happened.
And that's why I got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
I think that first scene in the whole thing, and I know Donna. I'll set up a meeting with Donna. Hi, Donna, I'm intimidated seeing you.
Right.
But
I set up a meeting with Donna last week. No, I'm kidding. Totally didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally.
she's like me on Twitter, though.
She does like me on Twitter.
I mean, what it is it's
She hasn't followed me yet. Donna.
some of those ladies that were here last week have not followed me yet.
Who follows
Did you guys hear that? Christy, Crystal, and Lindsay. He's very upset you're not
Still
following
not happy
him
about that.
on
Crystal,
Twitter.
Lindsay. Christy follows me. Thank you, Christy. I love you. She watching.
Yeah.
But Lindsay and
Christy does follow me. She does follow me. I know that.
Oh, I thought I was.
So I'm the only one that all three are following?
I think so.
She follows.
I don't even
think
have one
so.
for my hair yet. I need to create a Twitter for my hair.
They follow all of you.
Huh?
They follow all of you. They all
Those three do.
follow you.
Yeah.
You have the least amount of
And-
followers too.
I'm more for quality, not
Yes.
quantity.
I get excited when someone like who's an advertiser follows me, like someone on it's like some greenhouse in Wisconsin. I'm like, all right, good, I'll add it to the list. I get excited. Who does? Anyway, Vanessa is not apologizing for her behavior, but Hunter Tylo is. Do you think that Vanessa should apologize for throwing the glass across the table, for walking out, overreacting like that?
I mean, what's done is done. I mean, I don't think she has to. No one seems to be that pissed. Like, no one has said, I can't believe she threw her wine and wasted. I'm just upset she wasted it, personally.
Yes.
But she didn't hit anybody with it. So I mean, she was upset. She was clearly upset. So I mean, I don't think you. This is always that fine line. Should you have to apologize?
I do think it was an overreaction. I mean, she threw a whole wine, stormed off. She carried on like a bit of a 12-year-old in regard. She's successful. She's older. She's beautiful. She's done well. I didn't think she needed to carry on like that in some regard. You?
No. I mean, I think she probably should have said, look, sorry I threw a glass at you. You know, like, I definitely overreacted. That's how I felt at the time. But, kind of something you could apologize for simply, and then you can really kind of end it right there.
She took a leaf out of Crystal's book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? I was thinking, too, when they were here last week, we did ask them about their editing. If they were okay with it, and they all said no, that they felt like everybody had represented them well, that they never really got screwed, for lack of a better word, in the editing process. Hunter wasn't here to say that, so we don't know that if she's being edited improperly, in her opinion. Yeah. So
True.
there is that. There is that.
Yes.
They are fun girls. I did like them.
You enjoy
And
yourself,
we did hang out with them for quite a bit after we stopped taping. We stood outside and chatted with them. We actually got thrown out of a couple rooms because we were so loud. So
we enjoyed them a lot. They're good kids.
They were fun.
Crystal, she was like, hey, look, if Vanessa's not focused on this, then goodbye. Yeah. And I kind of agree with her. If that's the case, then, these women are trying to actually do work. You've got Christy going up to Donna Mills and being like, look, I've had problems in the past. Like, I'm in it to win it. You've got Lindsay Hartley, who's ride or die with all her projects. God bless her. Yep. So I just feel like, okay, then goodbye. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest Vanessa Marcel fan, so I'm like, okay.
No, I'm with you on that. They made an effort to get her back. Hunter went to her house, apologized. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
True.
Yeah.
And in the end, they're just hurting their own pride if they just keep begging her to come back. There's some way you just go, all right, she's not coming back. Let's move on.
I think, though, now knowing that the network wants her, I think that will definitely affect.
Vanessa must be loving this. She knows the network want her. She knows that they all want her.
Yeah.
She's just biding her time. She's just playing the game right now, the power trip, you know.
Yeah. I think she's holding out for a good paycheck.
Yeah, all she wants, and she wants the whole cast to sit there and apologize, all one by one next to her.
And I forgot to mention this too when you were talking about when Hunter came to visit her. And Hunter said, she's like, I came to apologize and da-da-da. Oh, crap.
yeah. Right in front of her.
I'm like, oh, shit. Now I got to be nice. Now I got to listen to this. That was the funniest part of the show for me.
Oh, I like it. These women, they sat down and they discussed an upcoming sizzle reel they're going to create. But this is for a scripted network drama.
This is your expertise here. Tell us.
Well, I just have never heard of anyone putting a sizzle reel together for an hour-long drama series.
Sizzle reel. Now, this is to get. Well, they already have the network, right?
We didn't know that.
Technically,
yeah, I don't know if that's a lock. This show should be on
so
TV Land, please.
The sizzle reel. From what we're being told, is this sizzle reel is to lock down the CW, kind of.
Well, it's also something that you can use as a selling material to go out to pitch to different networks. So you can take meetings at more than one. If Dawn is so connected, you can sit down with the A&Es of the world or whatever, and sit down with this video. And of course, they'd be smart to shop it to all Viacom, but I think TV Guide would be their best. And that way you can go and you can come in. You can have all the women come in, sit down, say we've got this great idea for this project. We've got all these great generations of women. We have a background with a good fan base and who like soaps. And here's our video. And they show just to kind of give you a flavor. But I've only heard of sizzle reels with reality shows.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what the hell. I mean, why not just go out and do a full pilot? That way you can just at least have something to really show for your work. And I mean, if they're creating a production company, what else are they producing? They might as well just put their money together and do the pilot if this is like their big passion project. I think it would just look better all around. I mean, if you're going to put all the effort out there and you're going to cast and get all this stuff. Well, my problem with the entire episode, and I'm really upset, is the title of this project.
They're actually talking about it right now in the chat room.
I'm like legitimately upset. They're calling this Lies, Secrets, and Minivans. I almost walked out of the room.
You did. He did.
I'm
he
serious.
Almost got up and walked out.
You're gonna have,
you got 2 feet up.
You're gonna have these women.
I said I have shots, and then he came back. That's kind of how it went.
You're gonna have these women. You're gonna have
behind the scenes at AfterBuzz.
An abandoned butterfly clip.
My butterfly clip. Chrissy, I really did make one.
I really did.
I watched him sit there, draw it, color it in, cut the thing out.
I got duct tape so I could tape it into my hair.
You had 4 people looking at you.
Imagine June would just die if I had my butterfly in my hair.
She said she couldn't believe you had it in your hair the whole episode.
I want to wear it. I was walking the dogs before I left. Sorry, we're digressing here a moment. I was walking the dogs before I left, and I thought, oh, my butterfly clip it was on my nightstand, clipped to my picture of my husband.
Oh my God, I love
Which he also made a comment. He's like, does that really have to be clipped to my picture? And I'm like, it does. And then I forgot it.
So you're executive for a network. They come in, they pitch this title to you. You just laugh.
Well, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want a title like that. I mean,
but does does the title fit for the CW?
If it's tongue in cheek. If it's supposed to be up
mean?
there with like a Desperate Housewives, you're not. I mean, come on.
So it's a drama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a drama. Minivans. It's not a really associated with drama, is it?
No, I mean they should call it for Secrets, Lies, and Jaguars or something. Like that way you'd be like,
So I think it's tying in. I think it's tying in just that they're moms. Because
why don't they call it
minivan? You think of a mom.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna have a show where there's a principal
but then
who's a sex
Lies
addict,
and Secrets implies dirty moms.
Dirty
moms. That's it. I just can't.
I'm not convinced on that either. Someone send us their thoughts on an appropriate title, please.
If you guys have ideas, write them in the chat room, please.
I'm just not gonna watch anything with minivan in the title. Sorry. I mean, I'm kidding. I'll watch it, but they need to like.
How about sex in a minivan?
I mean,
Lies in a minivan.
No.
When you think of minivans, you think of sex, right?
Oh God,
well,
no.
You
Just
said
me?
it, not me.
No. I'm really, and of course that showrunner came up with it. My mom said he looks like a dope.
Lee Fleming, yes.
I don't know anything about him.
That
I'm sure he
bothered
could be a
me
lovely guy, but I don't like the title.
I was actually surprised that none of them really made a comment that he chose the title when it's supposed to be their project.
Yeah.
I get that he's the showrunner. He's in on this now. But isn't the title kind of I mean, I would say he should be in on the decision-making process. He did say, I made an executive decision on the title, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I mean,
I'm really
Christy,
upset at
we
the
know
title.
she gets upset.
Yeah.
And she will voice her opinion. She didn't even really get upset.
I mean, so many titles nowadays, especially with dramas, are like one word. You know,
Yeah.
we can think of so many: revenge, resurrection, whatever.
Right,
The hell,
right.
all these different. And so to me, it's like, okay, let's Unreal as a gun. Like, it's just like let's.
And what is it?
do
Lies,
that.
secrets, mini, like, trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah.
Lies, secrets, mini. That's more it's more satirical.
Plus, nowadays people are always looking for catchy titles because of people who flip through the DVR. They're flipping through channels. You're gonna stop at something that's like, on death's door. But something about Minnie and Joey, what the hell is this? Is it an infomercial? Like, it's just like I'm not about it.
I think but we do see Donna in a minivan. You even commented on it when we were first watching the sizzle things for this show. Why is she in a minivan? You even said that. If I'm not mistaken.
I did. I'm still. I did. I just can't believe
I'm not
that's
justifying
happening.
it. I'm just saying we do see it later.
You're just the perfect host for this show because you are so passionate watching the episode and have so many problems. You just get to go on air and just air it all out.
Oh, I'm
you
still
know?
mad at looking at those white blinds.
How do you notice that? I didn't.
I mean, it's a very
impressive.
attractive building that they're filming in, and it's a good location. I don't know why they have to have the blinds shut at all hours of the day and night.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to let some stuff slide because it's season 1. By season 2 or 3, I need it zhuzhed up a little.
How do we think that go? How do you think they're going? Do you think they're progressing here? Do you think they're on the right track?
I mean, I know nothing about pitching a show, so I'm going to say yes. I trust Donna. Queen Donna.
From my perspective, I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what the whole project is about.
I keep meaning to look up and Google the project she's produced. I keep forgetting to do that. I need to IMDb her,
Right.
Donna, just to see what,
Oh, I can do that.
you know what I mean,
Yeah,
what
I can
she's
look that up. Yeah.
successfully pitched and how they
Right.
did and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
Yeah, I
Interesting
mean, I
little
think it's so
tidbit.
early in the process, and I feel like once we get a real feel for what it is and we see the sizzle reel come together, I think it'll be good. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess just to attach a name of a showrunner, but I don't know why you need a showrunner for a sizzle reel. That just seems so cart before the horse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're doing it their own way, and this is a special idea that they have and a different way of going about things. So God
Right.
bless them.
Yeah.
Well
Right.
said.
Donna admits she's not good at delegating. Christy's dying. It seems to be like chomping at the bit to be like, I want to do something.
Well,
Let me do it.
they all said this episode too. Please, and she says it's hard for me to delegate, and I can imagine that. It's hard for me to do the same thing. So I can kind of relate to that because I have a hard time.
I like Christie's passion, pun intended, obviously, but I do like it. Did you like it?
Cute. Yes.
Tweet that.
But,
she'll love it.
She's so enthusiastic. She wants this so bad. You can tell.
Yeah.
And she just wants things to get going, which, I mean, you can't blame her. This is a huge opportunity for her.
So she opened up to Donna and she said, look, I had a similar project where this girl came in, she took over, she took the money, and I kind of got pushed out. And I'm not looking for that. Now, she mentioned a similar topic of discussion when she was here last week. Yeah.
Yeah, she had it was here, wasn't it, with AfterBuzz?
With AfterBuzz,
that
yeah.
she had a issue with somebody that she presented an idea and kind of got taken away from her.
Yeah.
You were
it's
very
just
quick
like
again, astute, picking that up.
Yeah.
I connected the dots. I was like, okay, this is that similar story. That
So she
talked about.
referred to an incident she
I don't
had
know
at
that. I don't know
AfterBuzz.
that that's necessarily what she was talking about in that episode.
Perhaps not.
You
but
think it is, though?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Christy, tweet us.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. This is all alleged. Who cares? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm curious, though.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want anyone in trouble, but yeah, maybe, perhaps. I don't know.
Could
I really
be.
don't know. I mean, I'm just going off what she said, and I connected the dots because she did. She turned to Crystal and she said, at AfterBuzz, the word came out. You know, she said the name.
Yeah.
So we're just delivering the news.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she really wants to work, and she has an opinion. I liked early in the episode when she was like sipping her drink, and she's like, "Well, why weren't you at the retreat?" To Donna, like she just kind of called it out.
And when they say, "Well, how come I didn't know?" And one of them was like, "Well, if you were there, you would have actually known by now."
Yeah, I liked it. I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that they called her out. There was a lot of not attack of Donna this episode, but they kind of like putting her in her place, because when Christy goes to her house and says that what happened to her before, and and she says, "You did kind of cut us off when we were presenting our ideas and stuff like that." She kind of called her out and everything, but there was also stuff backing everything up. Like with Christy, she actually had a reason why she was standing her ground and why she was sticking up for herself, which is nice to hear the back. And it same thing happened with Crystal earlier, when she was doing all this stuff, and then she sat down with them and said, "Look, this is the stuff that's been going on in my real life. You need to know this." And it just kind of goes, "Oh, that makes sense now." And how many times have we had that in our lives where you're talking to somebody and then you find something out about them, and you're like, "Oh my God, it all makes sense now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what we're seeing now.
I like those moments. Another moment I liked was the hot scene with Lindsay and her boyfriend.
If there are any children watching, you need to turn it off, AfterBuzz, because we's about to get dirty.
That was a hot scene, but it was actually like a really nice reality scene for me. Like it was like classic reality TV. Like he has a job that could take him to New York. Like they're like so in love with each other. They're a hot couple on TV. He's basically like in a Speedo, like
What was that?
a very
A white Speedo. Thank you very much. I wanted to see him get out of the hut. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
But Lindsay did take her top off for you.
Yeah.
So,
It was a hot scene.
little
But
bit for everybody.
I like that. It was a good moment where they were talking business, but they were still like, it was still hot. It was still sexy. It was a good pace of the scene.
I enjoyed it for all those reasons. Yeah, and it felt, genuine.
Yeah.
It was a genuine moment, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But it's also teasing the young men out there watching. So then it just ended, obviously.
They covered
You lose it.
all the men, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a man watching that episode that wasn't happy with one or the other.
She had
You're going to love next week with
Lindsay-
all the guys auditioning.
Oh, I know. Well, there's one of the headshots that they showed. I know he's from something that I saw, and I can't place him, but
Oh, maybe we'll find out next week. I just laughed that in the hot tub, Lindsay had a face full of makeup. Did you notice? She had like full eyeshadow on, like face full, and I feel like
she just came back from work.
Isn't that
She's
all gonna
taking
just
it back.
melt off when you're in the hot tub? Like, don't your pores open up? You kind of like, have like a sweat when you go in a hot tub just from the steam. Like, I just feel like your face is gonna melt into the water.
She did good.
But, yeah.
She did good.
So what do we think about Lindsay wanting her boyfriend on the show?
Not a good idea, Lindsay. I mean,
I just say give him an audition. Just
I mean,
bring him
I
in.
think her thing is not necessarily for a principal role, or not the principal or the other role, but I'm saying principal as in a major role, but something. And I don't see that's like a day player. Fine. I don't know that it's something that you want to do on a regular basis to have them with you.
Was it unfair of
It's a special kind of relationship.
Was it unfair
with
of Hunter to say
No.
it never works out with a relationship? Didn't say in my experiences. Then she goes, it never does. Is that unfair?
a little bit.
Do you think it would have been better if she just said, "Look, he's going to New York, and I don't want him to go. Is there any chance he can at least audition?" Because they were like, "Why does she want this? Why does she want this?"
I just look at it for what it is. This isn't a pilot. This is a sizzle reel. If they sell this to a network, they can say, "Look, I like Lindsay's boyfriend. He's good looking. He looks good in a Speedo, but we want to have like Josh Duhamel in the role," and they could just pull him out. So it's a 20-minute thing. It's like, or a 10-minute sizzle reel at best. So it's like, just let them do it. If it's, it's not, this
Humor
isn't
her.
going,
Humor her.
this
Yeah.
isn't going on television.
I mean, I think if she did say later, after they had started arguing, she says, "As a girlfriend, I don't think it's smart to," I think if she would have led with that, like, not attack, and just been like, "You know what, that's sweet that you want to do that. I'm going to tell you my advice. I married somebody that was another actor. I've dated other actors I've worked with. It has not worked out well. You may want to reconsider this. We'll be happy to see him." But, I mean, I know that's probably not as good TV.
Hunter came to
it, but
an immediate conclusion.
Yeah.
Never works out. Give her just excuse me. Let him audition.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just like a selling of things.
Someone just says, Clarissa Jackson just says, Lindsay worked with her ex-husband on Passions. I think the key word in there is ex. Her ex-husband. They're exes now.
Well, yeah,
Love our listeners. I can't breathe right now, by the way, so I'm not going to talk for a second.
But yeah, no, but I mean, but they fell in love on Passions, and then it wasn't until the show had ended, and that's when their marriage fell apart, was post-Passions.
So maybe it's because they weren't working together.
Maybe. I mean, it's different for all times. I mean, how many people do we know that, I mean, film and TV, especially in the soap opera world,
right.
A lot of people are connected, and they've been married off screen and then they're together on screen as well.
Right.
And it doesn't always work out,
right.
But it's not like some like awful thing that like will never work out. Like,
right.
It's awful. It's such a bad idea, especially when you're putting together a quick sizzle reel for how many days are you going to shoot? I mean, you could wrap him in one day and be done. It's not like you're going to be on set with this guy for 9 months out of the year, and it could strain a relationship. It's for like probably an afternoon in like the valley.
I actually think the guy would be a good guy on the show. Like he looks like that.
He's a handsome man.
A young teacher obsessed with sex or something.
Yeah.
Is that right?
A sex-addicted principal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe he'd be a principal, but I don't want to see a real principal in the role either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I wonder if they need like a real over-the-top gay theater teacher. Just suggesting.
Do you you go back? We all said it in the. They met online. I mean, how does someone like him and someone with her status meet online? Is that you said? Is there a secret actors
a secret
online
actors
dating
Tinder?
site? Or-
Like an underground.
I wouldn't be
like,
surprised if there was. Darn them.
like a SAG matchup.
SAG. Well, I'm SAG. They aren't be withholding from me. I'm married. It's okay. I'm happy. But it would be nice to know. It'd be nice to be kept in the loop.
Right. Well, we can transition to news and gossip now real quick.
AfterBuzz TV News.
If you haven't watched our episode from last week, we broke a lot of news and gossip with the three ladies that came into our studios. So if you haven't seen it already, please do click and wherever we are in the column. Yeah.
On that side? And it's on that side.
Please click I'm in a mirror image, but click the column that has our list of episodes in. It was a good hour-long interview, and they speak a lot about producing the show and their relationships, but we don't really know where things are going. They remained pretty hush-hush on that. So what we can tease for you here is that we're hoping to get these ladies in the studio again, and we're working on a few different surprises coming up for us.
Yeah.
Now, as we look forward to the future, let's predict what's coming up on Queens of Drama.
Bam.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'm so bad at predictions. Like, I really, I'm so bad at that.
Give us your best shot.
Well, I'm glad the auditions are going to happen. I'm glad to see Lorenzo Lamas come in. I like him from Celebrity Apprentice, and he was on The Bold and the Beautiful with Tylo. So I'll be curious to see if they pull up any vintage clips from when they were on together.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think Vanessa's going to come back, only because she's in the, in the opening and stuff like that. I think and the network wants her so bad. I actually think too, I was thinking about this when we were watching that, this whole thing happening, I almost feel like was to get Donna back on. You know what I mean? Because now she's acting in it. Yeah. So it was like, okay, Donna's back in. Now it's like, well, if Vanessa comes back, is she really going to walk away? No. You know what I mean? So I think that was kind of a way to bring Donna in. But
yeah, I'm not making predictions, but I'm curious to know when Vanessa comes back, because it doesn't look like she's in the next episode at all, just from seeing the ending.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll be the...
And how she comes back. Who's going to do it? Is it going to be Donna's words of wisdom that get her back? I think it probably will. There's my prediction. She'll go and personally see Vanessa. Mm-hmm. And how Vanessa reacts, because she's got to chill a bit. Just chill a little bit.
Well, I predict that we're not going to see Vanessa this next episode, but then when they start to record this or film the sizzle reel, she's going to make a return. Yeah, she's going to it's going to be like, she's going to come on set and take over and stuff like that. Be like, I'm here now. I'm going to take care of business, and then everyone's going to have everything set. They'll make it look like everything's good. We're good to go, we're good to shoot, and then Vanessa's going to come in and turn everything upside down. Yeah. That's my prediction. I don't know anything.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But we'll find out coming up.
That really goes with the theme, Queens of Drama. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, guys, where can we find you in the world of social media?
You first, sir.
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, and on Facebook, facebook.com/the Mark J Freeman.
Twitter at Guy and a Girl Show. Crystal and Lindsay, if you don't follow me within 24 hours, I am deleting you, and I'll be a big loss to your thousands of followers. 24 hours, countdown.
And you can find me on Twitter at Grants__rants. I also have a little mini podcast I'm working on. I'll be making more announcements when that's ready to go. But keep an eye open for that. A few people have asked me where else they can catch us. So there you go. Yeah. And you can find all of us here on different after shows at AfterBuzz TV.
My radio show too.
And wine
Monday,
bars
Wednesday.
all around Los Angeles.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.